have a very bad habit. I have a bad habit, which is also a good habit. And it is that when you bring a baby to come and see me, the first thing I do is touch the fontanelle. So when people come to visit me, or I see a baby, or you come to the hospital and I'm, trying to assess your baby, I touch the fontanelle. I like to call it the fontanelle shake. So you must have seen this with a lot of pediatricians, doctors. They shake your baby by touching the fontanelle. Why? Because the fontanelle tells us a lot of things about your baby, and that is what I'm going to be telling you in this video. Welcome again to my channel. This is your baby's doctor. Alright, so welcome back. We have a new guest on this show, and we'll be running this show together for some time. So allow me to introduce him. He doesn't have a name yet. I figured that a lot of videos that I make, some people don't, get, especially the ones that I have to explain some particular things. And I got this guy to help me for some time. And of course, as we get better, we get more mannequins appropriate for age. So yeah, this young man, meet him. He doesn't have a name yet. So you can just give us a name in the comment box below. And of course, we can name him from now on. But for now, it's him. All right. So yeah. As I was saying about fontanelle shakes, okay, so usually when you bring the baby to the clinic and you're with the doctor, the first thing they do, or one of the first things they do, is that they check your baby's fontanelle. Okay, so your baby has two fontanelles at birth that are open, and they are basically spaces between the skull bones. Okay, so when the skull bones comes together, they have some spaces. So there's one here in front. Sorry, this baby's fontanelle is closed. All right, so it's like a, what they call that shape again, I'll try to remember. Okay, so it's in front here, and then they have one at the back here, which is triangular. So this one at the back here should usually close within the first 3 months of life, while this one in front here, maximum 18 months of life, it should close. And this tells you a whole lot about a baby. It tells you about the baby's hydration. It tells you about the baby's, whatever is going on in the baby's head. Okay, about the brain, about the surrounding of the brain. And that is why it is very important. Okay, so usually the things that you should watch out for in a baby is the bulging of the fontanelle. Okay, so usually when you touch the fontanelle, your hand should be able to go over it without, going higher or depressing. All right, so you touch it, you just roll a finger over it. You should be able to go over it without your finger going in or going up, forming a dome. Okay, so when it forms a dome, it is called the bulging of the fontanelle, and that shows that there is something going on in the brain, which is most commonly an infection of the brain, which we call meningitis, as some people know, and other things may also be responsible for that, such as intracranial pressure being raised. All right, that's too much stuff. But once you see that your baby's fontanelle is raised, please, it means that you should get to the hospital ASAP. Also, when you check the fontanelle, you rub your finger over it, and it is depressed, so it goes in. It shows that your baby is properly not well hydrated. So when your baby is not well hydrated, the fontanelle will go in. All right, so it shows that there's not a lot of fluid in there. So it means that you have to give that baby a lot of water. Now, if that baby is stooling, vomiting, and the fontanelle is deep, please, you need to get to the hospital so that they can rehydrate your baby as appropriate. But yes, fontanelle tells you a lot of things about your baby, and of course your baby's anterior fontanelle, this one here, should not close before the 12th month of life. So if it closes earlier than that, it might be a problem, because it might just tell you that there is no much space for the brain to grow. The idea of the fontanelle is for the brain to have more space. So as the brain is expanding, the fontanelle also expands and allow for growth. So those are some of the things that the baby's fontanelle can tell you. Remember, there is the anterior fontanelle, which is hexagon. No, it's hexagon. What's that? I can't remember the shape right now. All right, and then there's the posterior one, which is triangular. The posterior one should close in the first 3 months of life, while the anterior one should close between 12 and 18 months of life. But by 18 months of life, it should have closed. So if your baby's fontanelle is still there after 18 months, it means that you should actually see a doctor to find out why the fontanelle is still open. Also, it is very normal for the fontanelle to pulsate, so it feels like it's beating like the heart. That is very normal, and it's nothing to be worried about. So those are the things the fontanelle should be flat, should not be depressed, should not be bulging, should not be tense, and should close at the appropriate time. So yes, that is it, and that is why we always give you the fontanelle shake. when you bring your babies to the hospital. So thank you for watching my video. If it was helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Remember to share with someone. It will be very helpful to someone. And of course, subscribe to my channel if you have not done so. We are trying to build a community of LD children, of course, courtesy of LD parents and LD doctors. All right, so thank you for joining my channel again, and I will post more videos shortly. See ya.